Ricky.
Down here.
I would also like to share with you what I'm wearing today. Excuse my messy background. This is pretty normal for me. I changed my plan. Before I walk to work, I'm actually gonna go out and find Ricky. And I'm gonna film myself asking for his consent to be shown on my vlog videos. We're gonna have some very interesting conversation because for some reason you can always find an oppositional stand to a lot of the things that I tell him. He studied law.
I just feel really sad.
I actually feel like filming will get me into a state where if I try my best to unmask, this is actually going to help me feel more comfortable in the public. Asking for consent is a tricky process. Oh, if people look at me today, they will see that I'm wearing this shirt. So I could pay attention. Like I normally don't pay attention to strangers on the street because I'm deeply paranoid. Now that I'm wearing this, I think this is going to help me unmask. And now, if I ever do something like flapping my hand, they can't hold me accountable for being weird. Does that make sense? It's like I already let you know that this is who I am. By doing so, I am opting out of the neurotypical norms and quietly claiming my autistic self and the right to unmask and stim and do all kinds of autistic things. I feel like that's the statement that this teacher is gonna make. When it's in certain situations, especially with neurotypicals that I tend to shut down more, I'm sorry, this is very loud. It is very, very loud. The other people actually do not understand why I'm shutting down, why I'm not responding to them, why I'm not talking. It's really just because of this selective mutism. And I have very little control over whom I shut down with. But usually when people are not projecting their insecurity and fear and problems onto me, they tend to be more open, and I tend to mirror that response back. We're almost there. Ooh, I just see a very hot girl. I'm sorry if that's inappropriate. I feel like I don't always know what is, what isn't. This is a trauma response, but every time when I'm about to surprise Ricky, I'm paranoid I'll catch him cheating on me. Had happened to me in the past, and now I'm... Hi, can I get iced vanilla latte with light ice, please?
Yeah, iced vanilla latte, light ice. Anything else?
That's it, thank
What's
you.
your name?
I like your earrings, really cute.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. I love your shirt.
Oh, yeah, I just got it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Where from?
It's called Tea Public.
Where is that? That sounds like a place where they have lots of good novelty teas.
I know, right? I just discovered, I was looking for it online and I found this website called Tea Public and they have this
Oh, so you got it offline?
line. Hi.
I'll check that out. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I worked for a month and I got fired.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. I'm actually filming this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not filming you, I'm filming myself. So.
Okay.
Sorry.
Alright, see you later. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. I forgot to ask for consent. Yeah, I'm just wondering, do I have your consent to film you?
No.
No? That's... I have to figure out a way. Do I really not have your consent?
What do you want to film for?
It's gonna be part of my life. Like, I cannot just it's not gonna be interesting if I'm gonna film my life as an autistic person without interacting with anybody, even though I don't really interact with anybody. I think, like, you're the only person that I actually only really interact with most of the time. So that's why I'm asking you if I have your consent. And I'm also trying to show other autistic people how I ask for consent. So this is a part of...
This is the long way.
So?
Not right now. Maybe later.
Okay, but I do have your consent, right? Or no? I mean, this is not pressuring you. I'm not trying to pressure you.
Later,
Okay. I just learned about asking for consent yesterday from Title IX training, and I feel like this is a very bad example. I'm gonna share this, but this is to show asking for consent is a tricky thing for autistic people. It really is.
Eventually.
Okay, so I have some questions. Um, I was trying to find out. So when I'm filming on a day-to-day basis, do I need to ask consent with people that I interact with, like neighborhood persons or cashiers, if I'm just filming myself, my face?
You should try to avoid filming everyday people.
I'm not filming them, but I'm just filming my reaction of how I interact with people. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So it's okay if I'm just filming myself interacting with different people that I come across.
Yeah, and if somebody does have an issue, just apologize a bit for it. It's fine.
Okay, do I need to explain to them before if I'm just holding my
If you're just filming yourself, you're fine, right?
yeah.
And also, it's easier to film yourself straight. I would say, yeah, as long as you're not showing other people, you don't have to ask for it.
Even if I'm having a conversation with them, if they're
It's not always good to do that. But like if it's just like a quick exchange, it's fine.
okay.
If you're having a full
okay,
conversation
yeah,
with somebody
okay.
that you pronounce,
That makes sense.
you don't want to ask permission.
I guess that makes sense. But it's also okay to, I guess that it will be okay for me to like narrate things from my perspective without asking them, right? I'm just like narrating. This is the story of my life. That this is happening. That is happening.
I mean, you just gotta use common sense. I
I don't
guess.
have common sense. That's why I'm doing this legal research.
I don't know how to, and I don't know how to tell you how to do it. But I use common sense, and I just don't know how to tell somebody how to do that. It's not that I don't want to, I just don't know how to explain that. It's a natural thing from like, just being able to judge when is okay, when it's not. You know. I don't know how to explain that to you. So like.
And I think this is the second time that I am told this word in this month. If you remember from yesterday's video, I mentioned how I lost 3 things this month. I guess the reason why I stopped talking to the closest person that I used to know is because the word of common sense in my life is triggering or depressing subject. I honestly just don't believe myself to have the common sense of neurotypicals. I really don't think we share the common sense that the neurotypicals do in the society. It's based on neurotypicals common sense, and I believe that is a very critical reason why I feel so isolated in this world, that I'm still unemployed despite having scored much better than the rest of my classmates on standardized tests. And a lot of it has to do with me lacking the common sense or the common sense ability to pass an interview and doing legal research, breaking down context that I'm going to be filming about and thinking about what are the considerations that I need to have before I film. Well, basically, like, these things are just all barriers that the neurotypicals had created. And I honestly just think that this is the problem of the world. He always has this interesting stand where it basically makes me question my existence. I am glad that I brought you guys here, and I would think this is very rewarding. We did a little bit detour. End of the conversation, he brought up common sense. I was intensely frustrated and angry and just all kinds of, it just feels so nasty, this word. Telling an autistic people the word common sense. Common to whom? Those sense are common to neurotypicals. It's not common to autistic people. That's why we even go through such extensive effort into researching and planning and strategizing and just thinking through all of these contexts, like I was trying to do at the cafe there. I break down my filming by context and doing legal research to see what is okay, what is not okay. And a lot of these so-called sociologists or neurotypicals like to talk about privilege, but do they really think about what a huge privilege it is for them to just throw the word common sense? It is enraging, but you know what? We should try to be the bigger person. Let's be wise. Let's transform that anger into doing good work. And we're going to change the world. Okay, that sounds kind of silly, but I do mean it. Let's create some positive changes to this world. Let's show non-autistic people just how blind and fortunate they've been to have something that they've just taken for granted, common sense. On the surface, this fortunate, privileged, pretty girl to the most, and I got thrown this word, privilege, a lot. Like really, truly a lot. But a lot of times these people who are throwing at this word at me are neurotypicals who haven't really earned their common sense, or there are things that they can do just natural, or things that I work to get good at, that when they are seeing these traits that I have, my intelligence, my grade, they're a result of my discipline. My look, they're a result of staying up to get plastic surgery partially, but I also have naturally good genetics, that's true. So these are the things that a lot of neurotypicals envy in me, but they don't see how much of it is a result of inner resilience and working through very, very challenging, going through mental barriers, to the point that I feel constantly on the brink because of how hard I gotta try to survive. And they are envious because they don't see that there are all these efforts that's going into. Loud. There are all these efforts that we as autistic people are putting into presenting ourselves, that all they see is our threatening talents, that they don't know these things that they take for granted are things that we work hard for. So for this reason, I do think it is pretty sickening for them to throw the word at common sense and I feel like a lot of their envy comes from not knowing how hard we need to try and work on ourselves to make ourselves presentable. And you know what? I really think it's good for us to try to transform our anger into becoming the bigger person, into educating the public, into doing something good for all of us. So yeah, it's been rewarding. I always feel like that I'm going to come across something interesting when it comes to Ricky, who is non-autistic, who is so intelligent and good with people and socializing. He always has these things that really take for granted, that he doesn't know that I have to earn and work hard for. And I know that I have a degree of agency to get myself out of a situation if it were to become super toxic, despite it being very, very emotionally challenging. To be honest, it's been rewarding, as in it's been making me see who I really am, what type of person I want to be. And it's been, like diamonds are diamonds because they're born out of tremendous pressure. So that's kind of how I would describe my situation. And I'll give him all the credit, which is that he is the person who had been paying rent for the past 2 years. He does feel very proud of that, and I'll give him that credit. If my YouTube ever succeed, because he had asked me so often for contributing, I would really like to give him that money. If you can help me, help us, help this channel succeed, that could also be something that's very helpful for me.